Mr. Chair, the votes are 8 yeas, 14 nays.
The amendment's not agreed to. Are there further amendments?
Mr. Chairman.
Senator from Texas.
Mr. Chairman, I call up Amendment SIL 21646. Section 3 of this bill is titled Home Detention for Certain Elderly Nonviolent Offenders, and my amendment is designed to make that title accurate and to make this bill consistent with its promise to apply to nonviolent offenders. And to be sure, as it is written, the home detention program does not apply to crimes of violence. It does, however, apply to criminals who used firearms in their offenses, even though using a firearm in a criminal offense is inherently violent. So what this amendment does is it excludes from eligibility for home detention criminals who used a firearm in the course of their offense. This committee has had many hearings on gun violence. Gun violence is a serious problem in this country, and I don't believe we should be releasing early individuals who used guns in the commission of a criminal offense, and so I urge the adoption of my amendment.
Senator Cruz, I don't know if you're aware of another aspect of your amendment. This amendment would prohibit anyone charged with an offense involving a firearm from qualifying as elderly, terminally ill offender eligible for home confinement, but it would also eliminate the provision allowing offenders convicted under the D.C. Code who are terminally ill to be transferred to home confinement. Eligibility for elderly, terminally ill home confinement is already restricted to nonviolent offenders who've been determined by a BOP-approved doctor to have a terminal illness or be in need of care at a nursing home, intermediate care facility, assisted living facility, hospice, do not have a history of violence, and are at no substantial risk of engaging in criminal conduct. That's the standard. This program is designed to provide compassionate release to the terminally ill, and there's no reason to provide less compassion to those convicted under the D.C. Code, or to exclude all offenders charged with firearm offenses from obtaining this release. I would urge my colleagues to oppose this amendment.
Is it the chairman's view that an individual who commits an offense with a firearm has not committed a violent crime?
According to this, there is an establishment as to whether or not this person is in a physical condition to commit another crime. That, I believe, is...
Well, not if they're over a certain age. Then it just cuts their sentence in half and releases someone who used a firearm in their crime. I mean, we have hearings month after month after month on gun crimes. I've been the ranking member with Senator Blumenthal on three hearings in the past couple of months on gun crimes. Let me suggest the way to deal with gun crimes is don't release from prison criminals who committed crimes with guns.
Senator, but your provision just affects the terminally ill provision. Do you realize that?
It's intended to cover everything, so I don't believe that's accurate.
I'm advised by my staff it is not drawn up to establish that.
Well, then I ask for a moment to confer with my staff, because
Certainly.
the intention is for it to cover everything.
Certainly. Senator Coons?
Thank you, Chairman Durbin. While the senator from Texas is conferring with staff, I want to thank you and Ranking Member Grassley for advancing these three common sense bipartisan bills. And I want to mention an amendment I have filed but will not be seeking a vote on that would incorporate the Driving for Opportunity Act into this underlying bill. It's a bill I'm leading with Senator Wicker. It's been co-sponsored by a wide range of senators, including Ranking Member Grassley, Senators Tillis, Blumenthal, Booker, Durbin. We have 6 Democrats and 6 Republicans. It is a simple principle. It would encourage states to stop the counterproductive practice of suspending driver's licenses for unpaid fees and fines. This bill has strong support from law enforcement, from businesses, from conservatives, from civil rights groups and progressives, and fits within the general framework of the sort of bipartisan criminal justice reform we're trying to accomplish. In my view, it simply makes no sense that when someone is too poor to pay a fee or fine, we take away their ability to get to work or put them in a position where driving to feed their family puts them at risk of jail time and new fees and fines. Law enforcement doesn't want to be doing traffic stops simply for bill collection purposes. and these are folks whose licenses have been suspended for reasons unrelated to driving safety. So I very much hope we can see this bill advance to this committee by markup soon. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
And Ms.